Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live show. It is Thursday. It is 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we are starting. I'm seeing some people in chat. No, I'm just seeing myself in chat, but I know that some people are watching. Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here. We have a great show for you today. Today, we're going to be talking all about video marketing, and not just any old video marketing. We're going to be talking about fun and exciting video marketing. And today we have two fantastic guests. Um, we've been wanting to have them on the show for a very long time. They are two wonderful ladies from Wistia. So please welcome to the show Sydney Rutman, Senior Manager of Marketing and Operations, and Taylor Corrado, the Director of Brand at Wistia. Welcome, welcome, ladies.
Hi,
Thank
thank
you.
you for having us.
We're super excited to have you. Like, I'm excited. My producer, Cameron, is super excited. Thank you so much for making the time and joining us today.
Awesome. Well, hi, I'm Sydney. I head up development over at Wistia Studios, and this is Taylor. Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm the Director of Brand at Wistia. And for those of you that may not be familiar with Wistia, we are a video hosting platform for B2B marketers that are looking to take both their video and their podcasting to the next level. We offer a lot of different tools to do that, and we'll be talking more about how we have fun with our marketing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that intro. Now, I know there's Wistia, the video hosting platform, and there's also Wistia Studios that produces a lot of great content. If you guys don't know, go check it out after the show, wistia.com/series. But can you tell us a little bit about that distinction? Why do you have the Wistia Studios and Wistia the video hosting platform?
Yeah, I mean, Wistia Studios within Wistia, we see it as a destination for educational and entertaining content that we see like creative professionals really looking for. So they're looking for aspirational shows that are about video, about brand building, about creative marketing. So what we want to do with Wistia Studios is bring them content that brings them joy, but also helps them with the stuff that they're facing in their everyday working lives.
Hmm. I've seen most of your shows from Brandwagon. Where's that Volvo? I would like to take a ride in that Volvo.
Don't ask.
To show business, to out of office hours. You guys, between all the shows, you guys produce a lot of content. My question is, how do you decide what to make? How do you decide what to focus on? And how do you produce so much? How does that work inside of your company?
So I'll start with how we do it. We have a combination of an incredible internal video team and creative team. And then we also work with a ton of external freelancers and external production companies. So we're able to scale and make all this great content kind of by pulling those three different levers. How do we decide to make what to make is, again, another combination of tons of factors, but we look at our target audience. We try to look and see what they're consuming and what might be missing in their current content landscape. And we try to find stories and create content where we have a really strong point of view, where we feel like we're going to be able to give them something that they're not seeing out there already. So we consider all of that with our goals, and we come together and we create a dynamic slate for our year.
Mm-hmm. And how do you decide which producer gets which show? Does the producer pitch a show and then it's approved? How does that work?
That's not necessarily our process. Like right now, it's super collaborative. Like most of the time, we're coming together as a team and working through different brainstorming techniques to get to where we need to get to. But in the end, we will always have one point person on each of those shows to make sure that they're getting that the show is getting the love and attention that it needs in order to succeed.
Awesome. Well, again, all of your shows are so much fun to watch. And I think it's pretty rare in the serious business landscape to see a lot of shows that offer that level of creativity and that level of entertainment, frankly. So I'm curious, how is that part of the company culture? How did it happen that Wistia Wistia Studios produces so much entertaining and fun content.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with like in the very beginning of Wistia, there was this huge investment into brand and investment into human, like creating a human touch for the people who are coming to see us. And so I think that having that and evolving it over the years has led us to where we're at now with Wistia Studios, where we can do that in a long form and in many different ways with many different series.
Mhm. Now, does that always translate to profitability? Because I'm assuming Wistia is a for-profit business. So is it sometimes difficult to explain to people that it's worth making content like this? Taylor, maybe you can speak a little bit to
Yeah,
that one.
for sure. So I think just to build on what Sydney just said, I think there's also the reality that we're a video company. You know, we host videos, we enable other businesses to make videos as well as share those videos out. And so if we weren't eating our own dog food and creating video and testing and trying new things, we wouldn't be able to really market and sell our products to our target audiences, who are ourselves. You know, we're marketers, and we're selling to marketers and marketing to them. And so the company and the ethos evolved from testing out really simple video concepts, like we had a take the survey video, which was basically people doing the shuffle and asking people to take a survey about our content. That was a simple in the office, one camera, and we sent it in an email, to like our big, you know, full 20 episode production on show business, which is teaching you how to create shows for your own business. So if we didn't use video as a medium of our content, and we also have, you know, our blog and our written content, we wouldn't be able to help our customers learn and grow their businesses with video. And so we don't necessarily track each video and its ROI towards the business. It's really about the full investment of video as a medium to support our brand and our messaging, and also to just enable customers to do the same for their own companies.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that you say that, eat your own dog food. I think that's a phrase that we use a lot around here at Epiphan. This show, for example, we talk so much about live video marketing. And this live show is kind of a way to kind of like a proof of concept, right? So we are making what we're talking about. And I think that really supports our brand message, and encourages our customers to also produce video and be successful at it. So that's really cool. Totally relatable.
Yeah, and I think we take a little bit, we try to go behind the scenes as much as possible and actually share what we do internally on our blog and through video. And so when things go great, we'll share them, but we also show the things that don't work, because our customers and audiences in general can learn from that as well. So it really gets behind the scenes of what Wistia does and shares that human perspective with video.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely nice to have that content to show, right? Instead of just tell. I know we use our live streams to also introduce a concept to our customers or show something that we've done, and then maybe talk about how we did it, what worked, what didn't. So we really like that strategy. But making video can be really intimidating, especially if you're just starting out as a business. You know, some businesses make video just to like check the box. Okay, we have video. So what would be your advice for people who are just getting started with video, for businesses who are trying to make their first video?
So I think because of the pandemic and COVID, the quality and the standards of video production have gone way down, in terms of you don't need a full day of shooting and, you know, writers and scripts and lighting and all that stuff that I think in the last 5 years, people were still feeling the pressure to make a really high quality marketing video or just brand video or product video. And so I think that bar has been lowered, but it doesn't mean that the creativity and the content itself, you know, the quality is also lowered, but the production value doesn't have to be as high. So we talk to a lot of people who are just starting with their video marketing and video production. And we really encourage them to just think of like small, not like low risk opportunities to test out video. So places where they can use their Zoom and their computer camera or even an iPhone, and do like 30-second clips of them talking about maybe the most common questions they get from customers and doing like Q&As. But thinking about like small bite-sized pieces of content that don't take a ton of production investment, and just testing them out and seeing if they work in your emails or on your website or even with just your customers. And you'll start to see what works, what resonates, and then you'll be able to start making some smaller investments in new equipment like a camera and a light. But it's really not as overwhelming as I think it has been in the past. And we've tried to build out content like our show business series to help you think about creating your video content from start to finish and what all can go into that. And there's so many resources even outside of our resources that are available to you to get started. So it's really just like picking one small thing that maybe doesn't have a huge impact on your business, but it's just a place where you can take some low risks and see what works.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, you guys have a great guide for people who just want to get started with video, and viewers, you should definitely check that out. So let's say a business has that first video, making that first step. We talk a lot about making video marketing fun and interesting and exciting. So why should businesses be thinking about that? Why is fun video marketing important?
I think this is a tough question because not every business has the personality or the brand that is fun and exciting. And maybe that is a risk to that business and they don't actually want to do that or have that kind of content out in the world. So I think you have to think about it as like, what is the most engaging content that we can create for our audience? And what is going to be remarkable and memorable for them that they would want to watch it, especially if it's video, and two, probably share it with either their colleagues or on social media or even just with their networks. And so it's really important to think about not necessarily just what's fun and exciting, but what's going to resonate the most with your audience. And if you have the opportunity to have a little bit of fun, if your business is always very serious and you do a lot of like reports or you do a lot of long form content, testing it with video and having some humor or even just some playfulness is really a great place to do it and to test it out.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's about striking a good balance, right? So you don't want a super dry video that no one's going to watch, but also you don't want to be, out there super fun and comedic if that's not your brand.
Right.
So I think there's a balance that needs to be found. But I think making video engaging is very important. I like what you said, Taylor, and making sure that it connects with your audience is something to think about.
For sure.
So speaking of engaging video and fun video, this is the part of the show that I've been waiting for. We are going to talk about Wistia's new series, Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring. Ladies, would you like to introduce, there's the stinger. Would you like to introduce the show a little bit before we watch the trailer? Say a few words.
Sure. The trailer does a really good job of walking you through exactly what the show is about. But Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring, it's a 5-part episode series. It's produced by Wistia Studios and Lobster Pot Productions. And in each episode, the Gear Squad, which is a group of video gear, they come to life a la Toy Story, and once every human leaves for the day. And the evil Dr. Boring next door at Dillcorp, he's trying to do whatever he can to ruin whatever fun or innovative marketing approaches that the Gear Squad have come up with. And so each night he sends an evil villain or sidekick to try to disrupt the Gear Squad team. And, it could be a drip campaign with video in it. It could be a live stream like this right now, or it could even just be like basic team dynamics. And the Gear Squad has to protect themselves and try to not fall victim to the boring antics of Dr. Boring.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Cameron and I binged it the first day it came out. So why don't we roll that trailer right now, Cameron?
When the workday is over, the video gear comes alive.
I'd say we're done for the day. As soon as we finish a few more minor details.
From Wistia Studios, it's Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring. Every night, the Gear Squad battle evil Dr. Boring and his boring team of villains.
Marketing was so much better before you came along, Gear Squad!
You seem distressed, sir. Can I offer you a cup of ice-cold water? Or perhaps some scalding hot?
But this doctor has misdiagnosed the power of creativity.
Who sent you?
Dr. Boring, right? It's always Dr. Boring.
Featuring Cam,
Well done, team.
Chopper,
We are go to engage!
Archive,
Upload complete.
Shoddy and Game,
Did we do that?
Ringer,
Let's get lit.
and the lovable tripod, Sticks. So charge your batteries and clean your lens. There's a new set of heroes in town.
Gear Squad presents a boring!
Who's got a dongle and feels super cool right now? This guy.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. Ladies, congratulations on producing the series. It looks great. You guys had a launch party last week in PJs. That was amazing. Sydney, I know you worked a lot on the show. You were the producer of the show. So tell us a little bit about how you came up with the idea and how the workflow went.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this idea, it was really born out of constraint during the pandemic. I'm sure a lot of your audience can relate. I'm sure you both can relate. Video production just kind of halted in March of 2020. And we had many different content ideas, series that we were supposed to be working on. And then all of a sudden that all stopped. And we started to brainstorm what is a way that we could be telling great stories to our audience, but not have to be live in person shooting. So animation was one of the main ways in which we thought we could accomplish that. And from there, we brainstormed over a period of time and we started building this world of Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring. Didn't happen overnight, but it was a really, really fun experience to be there, just kind of throwing ideas at the wall, seeing what sticks and what didn't.
Mm-hmm. It's a very 90s cartoon kind of concept. And during your launch party, someone asked a fantastic question. How do you sell a 90s cartoon to your boss?
Again, I think it's a combination of many things, but most importantly, Wistia has historically invested in brand. And so the decision to do the cartoon, it wasn't just like all of a sudden we were coming to them out of nowhere with an idea this crazy. Like there have been many crazy ideas along the way. But you know, they understood the world we were trying to build, and you know, we had many meetings to discuss how we were tying it back to our larger strategy and everything in between. So it wasn't just one pitch where we came in and we were like, Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring, it's happening. It was over the course of many meetings that we decided that it would work for us.
So I just imagine going to my boss and be like, hey, let's make a cartoon. And he's like, yeah, sure. Just go. Here are all the resources. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a crazy time, but we had a lot of fun doing it.
So you worked with a production company called Lobster Pot, based out of LA. And there was, I'm assuming there was a lot of like remote work involved. And can you talk a bit more about that process, how that worked?
Yeah. So everything was 100% remote, not just our Wistia Studios team working remotely with Lobster Pot. Lobster Pot was also fully distributed throughout the entire country. And so it was challenging between file sharing and collaboration. All of a sudden, you're doing almost everything over Zoom. And it was definitely difficult, but Lobster Pot made it look easy. They were an incredible partner to work with.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take to make the show?
Started the ideation process in beginning of summer 2020, and we premiered October 2021. So that a little over a year from like true start to finish. But we contracted with Lobster Pot in March of 2020, and we were finished with the show in October. So sorry, March of 2021. So it was about 7 months of like hard production.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. That sounds pretty fast.
We had a very intense what we call the benchmark grid, in which, you know, something would be delivered. We would have X amount of time to give feedback. Then that would be, the feedback would be worked in, and then we'd get to see it one more time. And it was quick, and we had to create a new muscle over at Wistia Studios as to like getting that feedback in an efficient time so that Lobster Pot could keep running and going as quickly as we wanted to.
Now we have a little behind the scenes featurette, a little clip that you guys prepared. I think it's really cool because it really shows the behind the scenes process with Lobster Pot and the writers and the animators. And why don't we show that right now, just to give our audience a little taste of that.
Shout out to Chris Levine who put this together.
Hello, my name is Kaja.
My name is Laird Fryer.
I am Tim Harold.
Hi, I'm Jackie.
My name is Brian Harris.
My name is Napoleon Chavez.
What's up, everyone? My name is Wes.
My name is Jake Reeves.
I'm Kayla, and I'm the voice of Cam and Gain.
I'm Christopher, and I was a writer on Gear Squad versus Dr. Boring.
This is Danny Gendron. I play Dr. Boring on Gear Squad.
And I play Ringer, Shoddy, and Buttons.
And I play Philip. The Drill.
I'm a storyboard artist, a character designer, and an animator.
I was an animator.
I was an After Effects compositor.
I rigged the characters on the show.
I am the re-recording mixer.
I am the animation producer and line producer.
I'm the executive producer, showrunner.
And I was the head writer on Gear Squad vs. Dr. Boring.
Everything you see in this show, you know, was designed from scratch with our team in conjunction with the awesome people over at Wistia. We had a lot of different early iterations of all these characters.
Archive hasn't even changed that much from this original drawing. Cam 2, you can still see like so much of what I had originally started working with in these characters. It still is there in the spirit of the show.
We animated everything both traditionally and with character rigs, so it was kind of a half and half process, but all of Dr. Boring was actually entirely animated traditionally.
Renders would take forever because those lighting, that stuff is really heavy.
So with human characters get a lot of their emotion from their shoulders or their hips, but a lot of these characters, they don't have shoulders or hips or arms or eyebrows, and so it required a lot of experimenting where the different rotation points should be to make the characters move well and realistically.
I'd have to say that my favorite character in the show is, of course, Dr. Boring, because despite his name, he's way more interesting than he leads on.
Favorite character? Easy question. I love Cam. My single proudest moment is Cam's lens pops off and her real face is the digital sensor on the inside of the camera.
My favorite character definitely has to be Water Cooler. Gotta be Archive. He is dumb and confident, and I love a character that has unearned confidence.
I chose a Lassie hard drive to base Archive off of because that's what I use.
Who's got a dongle and feels super cool right now? This guy.
Is it true that you can put bubbles in water?
You fools! I am the green screen.
It's Dr. Boring.
Sir, could I offer you a cup of ice cold water or perhaps some scalding hot?
I am everything and nothing. I can be everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Look deep into the chuck of my drill.
But that's impossible. Everybody loves constructive criticism.
Just like a certain Olympic bobsled team, our runnings are pretty cool. That was a really terrible...
water cooler?
It's a water cooler?
I'll get that Gear Squad.
I'm just incredibly proud of the team. It was great working with Wistia, and I'm proud to be a part of this project.
Just shout out to all of the people on the compositing team that like really put this show together and really made it work. Like, you took something that had a melody and you guys made it sing.
I really hope you guys enjoy the show. Thanks for watching.
And remember that when you sleep, your film equipment will come alive.
That's so good.
That's so good.
Love
I
lots
make
of
sure
clapping.
that my camera has the lid on and is stowed away as far as possible. I don't want that thing coming alive.
They're there to protect you and your work, though. They're gonna keep boring out.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the water coolers.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be more worried about my, I guess, water pitcher that I have here. I was curious what your guys' favorite characters are watching that.
Mine's Archive. I have to agree with Kayla, one of our voiceover actors. She said it best. There's something so special about a character who has unearned confidence and is just so goofy. And we gave him the best one-liners for sure.
Yeah, he had some good ones. How about you, Taylor?
I have a few, but I really love who's the top drawer on the filing cabinet? Jeff? I just love that he has such a random name and he's just such a goofball. I love that character.
My personal favorite is Styx. And I think the person in the featurette said it best, or no, during the launch party, there's something about like a tripod galloping away. It's just, I thought that was so funny. Such a fun.
We have a lot of gifs of him running around the office. Very funny.
Yeah.
It was actually right before we jumped on this the show. One of our designers sent through a gif of Styx and was like, "This is how I'm feeling right now." It's like Styx kind of like looking a little tired.
And then like the horse sound just tops it off for me.
The whinnies. Oh god.
Yes.
When we would write those, when they would write them into the script, it's like a whinny here.
Uh-huh.
We'd be like, we need more neighing.
More neighing. Amazing. Again, congratulations on the show. I think it's a great success. I hope our viewers check it out. There are also little ads, little commercials between the episodes that are amazing on their own. Do you guys want to talk a bit about that? Because they are amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't even mentioned the 90s commercials that we produced in-house, which were all done by our own video team. And even our employees were featured in all of the ads as volunteers, which was really, really fun to include more than just the marketing team. But we decided like the Saturday morning cartoon vibe was like the main vibe of the whole campaign. And at that time we had commercial breaks. And so we threw it back to a few really popular ones. And a few of them we created shot for shot. But the whole purpose of the commercials was to drive to resources that are going to help people use video more in their marketing, whether it's our new free asset library that has stock music, scripts, templated scripts, video overlays to kind of spice up your webinars. And then we have another commercial for a webinar that's coming up called Webinar Attendee, which is super fun. But yeah, the commercials actually were a big hit during the live show as well. And they were so fun to produce and to see come to life.
I dropped a link into the description. You can find the ads kind of placed between each of the episodes. I really like the one with the Wistia free account one. That just feels exactly like, what was it? The liquidation sale?
Publishers Clearinghouse.
That's it. I'm not super familiar with 90s culture, but I did see segments like that. And I thought that was just spot on. I think that's your favorite one, Sydney, if I'm not mistaken.
That one, but Webinar Attendee is also another song that is just incredibly hard to get out of your head once it is there, and you wind up walking around all day screaming like Webinar Attendee, Webinar Attendee.
Can attest to that. Well, if you guys want to check that out, be sure to click that link. And Sydney, I think you also had a few kind of behind the scenes creation process for Gear Squad prepared. If you want to share those with us right now and talk just a little bit about how those characters were created, because they're just so much fun. They're so awesome.
Yeah. So we have I have a few here right now. This was the early evolution of Ringer. There were a lot of debates about eye placement, mouth placement, and you'll see for almost all of the characters, there were a lot of different discussions to be had about how you actually play with the components of the gear that we were using. So I think that Jake, the designer of Cam, when he had that revelation that Cam's face could be the digital sensor, and then when the lens popped off, you would see it. It was just, we were really trying to figure out what like inside humor of gear can we really use to make these characters feel just feel really true to themselves. And as a video team, we felt very personal about a lot of the different options we had. With some of our villains, we got to work on with characters that weren't necessarily video gear or audio gear, but kind of more of your everyday. You'd find them in your home or in your office, like a water cooler. What could be more boring than water cooler conversation? And so, yeah, we just had a lot of fun trying to figure out what would be the best way to have these characters come to life.
I love looking at those like first sketches of things, and then see the process through. So thank you so much for sharing those. I'm gonna take a quick look at chat just to see if people have any questions. We're just about ready to wrap up. So viewers, if you have any questions, please drop those into chat. And I was also going to ask you, how did you guys measure success for this series? I'm assuming the goal of the series is mostly for like the awareness stage. Correct me if I'm wrong. So maybe this is a question for Taylor on how you measure success of something like this.
Yeah, so you're right. It's definitely the brand awareness and reach of the show and getting as many eyeballs on it as possible. And really just driving attention to the cartoon, but also the assets that we're offering within those commercial breaks. So we're measuring it by PR hits, how many publications are actually talking about the show and Wistia as a company, the total plays of the episodes, as well as visits to the Gear Squad landing page, which has all of the episodes, the commercials, the assets that we really tried to build out a watch experience for everyone. And then we have some secondary KPIs around the live show that we did on Friday, how many registrants we actually got and how many attendees we got, which was one of our first like bigger live events. And then as well as interactions with our additional assets that we provide that are all free for download. You just have to give us your email address. So we're measuring the number of leads generated from that asset library that we just launched. But really it's about getting Gear Squad out there and getting people loving the show.
Mm-hmm. And we also noticed that you made it free for anyone to watch. You don't even have to leave your email. You can go on the website right now and just watch the show. So I'm guessing the intention behind that was just to get as many eyeballs as possible on it.
Yeah, exactly. We really didn't want to gate it. There's no reason to. It's really for entertainment and for having fun and for people to be able to share it pretty easily. And so we thought there's no reason to ask anyone to fill out a form. We really just want people to enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm. So cool. Well, I think we're just about ready to wrap the show up. Sydney, Taylor, thank you so much. Again, the show is great. Tell the people where they can find you. Plug away.
So they can find Gear Squad at wistia.com/Gear Squad. And all the episodes are there, the commercials, the free assets. And then you can check us out on social across all platforms at Wistia, WISTIA.
Wistia. Awesome. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. This was a great show. A pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you for making Gear Squad for people like us, for people like me, our producer, Cameron, our company. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for having us. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.